quick, I just want to come on here and break down how I caught this AU trade during Asian session on Wednesday. But before we even get into that, I just kind of wanted to break down my psychology and my mental going into the market this week. I only wanted to trade in my session, so for me that is New York and the Asian session, but for you that could be literally whatever. You could trade any session. It's just you just have to find the time that works for you. I trade New York and Asian because that's what works for me. And another thing is the timing. That is another very important thing. I only wanted to trade around literally 7 to 11, so 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. For New York, and then for Asian it is 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So those were pretty much the time zones that I was specifically focused on catching my setups during. And timing is so important. Timing itself is a confluence because literally everything in the market happens for a reason. If you catch at that time, typically it's going to be momentum. You really only want to trade when there's momentum. So normally sometimes there won't always be momentum during Asian session, which is why it can be iffy if it's consolidating. If it's consolidating, then you just don't want to touch it. You won't have a trade for that session. So it is what it is. Sometimes you got to be disciplined with that. You can't really go around like forcing trades. So now that we broke down the mindset and psychology that I had for this week, we can go into the part that you guys have all been waiting for, which is the trade breakdown itself. Okay, so getting straight into it, as you guys can see, we had structure my structure was making higher highs and higher lows. So what I wanted to see was for price to basically grab this liquidity and then give us a change of character, which is what it did. As soon as we got the change of character, we saw price come down and then come straight back up into our 5-minute supply zone and then drop. But as soon as price got into here, what I did was I shifted onto the 1-minute time frame, and from there I was looking at structure. Once again, you can see we had this impulse in there, and then as soon as we got that, we had that break of structure. So I'm just going to clear that. And then as soon as we had the break of structure, our areas of interest, we wanted price to either come up here and drop or come into this one and drop. But this zone for me wasn't really high probability, and the reason for that is because I was looking at this one right here. As soon as price left, it tapped into it. So for me, that supply zone wasn't really fresh anymore. So our objective in this trade was to catch the momentum off of this 5-minute supply zone that we had seen. So I was just looking at structure once again on the 1 minute. He was breaking low. I saw price. Looking at the line chart is very important because if you ever get confused, like, you can see structure as it really is. So we end up breaking this high and then breaking the low. So what is that? A change of character. So we get another shift, price moving again. And as soon as we get to this area right here on Awanda's feed, it looks a little bit choppy. I'm definitely going to throw up the trade on my broker's feed. I use Hanko Trade myself. So on Hanko Trade, what I saw was price wick up here, take liquidity, and then break down, breaking this low right here. So as soon as we did that, I saw price tap into the zone and I was able to get in. As soon as I saw my bearish candle print, I always wait for price action, and then I end up getting in on the break of the low, stop loss a little bit above the high, and our take profit was this 5-minute zone down here. And as soon as price got into here, I pretty much closed the trade because I was done from there. I had secured more than enough on that. And honestly, I'm gonna show you guys where I took my take profits. So at 1 hour, what I do is I move my stops to break even, and I just make the trade risk free, and I secure some partials. And then 2 hour, what I did was I secured even more of the trade, and then after that I just left runners run into my higher time frame zone that I was looking at. So that's all I got for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.